Hi, I am Mount West and I make music for games. In this video I want to show you a prototype of the AMAPP and how it implements music automatically into Wwise when you work inside of the AMAPP. And this prototype was built during the Airwiggles Implement tournament. So what we have now is a new interface with all of the clusters that we have inside of this project, and we will create a connection between these clusters and each of the phases and each of the containers that will later be implemented inside of Wwise. So first of all, we gotta create some new groups for them called sets here. Now we have created basic music progression here from intro all the way up to the outro. And what we can do now is that we connect the clusters with these sets of clusters. So the intro will belong to the intro. Now we have created a simple music design here. So these things are contained in the same group. And if we first take a look at Wwise here, here's the basic setup of Wwise. This is the default project that opens up if you create a new project. You can see we have no audio assets or music segments or containers in our interactive music hierarchy here inside of Wwise. And we don't have any events, it's completely empty, or we don't have any triggers, switches, or states here. All of that is completely empty right now. When we click implement here, we're gonna go through the whole list first of all inside of AMAPP and render all of these assets out. And then when that's done, it will implement a boilerplate version of our music design inside of Wwise. So let's try it out, see what happens. And you can see we start rendering. It will take a little bit of time, so let's put that down here. So before we go into Wwise, let's check out Unreal. Because here is the game for the implement tournament that we have here. It has a game scene, and we also have some blueprints for the assets that are inside of the game. And if we go down, we can also see that we have a progression for all of the different phases of the music. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, Phase 4, and we have outro playing here. So this was set up inside of Unreal, so we can trigger the stuff from within Wwise. And let's see how we are looking inside of Reaper. We are at Phase 3 piano and Phase 4. We should be done pretty quickly from now, pretty soon here. And what I love about AMAPP is that all of this thing is saved inside of each project. So if you open up this project in the future, it will all be saved there. So you can still know that whatever you did last will be right there. And all of the assets that you created will have the same kind of naming convention that you had from the previous round. So if you have a revision or you need to go back to, let's say, a different level inside of your game and change something, you can open it up and then you can find exactly the asset that you need to change. You can go in that cluster and do some minor tweaks, or you can create a whole new set of different phases or layers and make sure that everything will be connected the way they were. Everything is done here and everything seems to have worked out well. So let's go into Wwise and see, have everything been connected as we designed it inside of the AMAPP here. And let's see. Yep, we have something here called AMAPP Asteroids. And we have a main music switch that contains our layers. And we have an intro, we have an outro, we have Phase 1, we have Phase 2, we have Phase 3, and we have Phase 4. And they also contain the new layers that we just created. And like you can see, all of the assets are here. That's great. We can also check out if we have any events. Yep, we have events for music pause, music start, resume, stop. Pretty simple stuff. And if we look into our switches, we should see that, yep, we have intro, outro, Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, and Phase 4. That means the music phase has been connected already for this. So if we listen to this thing, we will play the intro here. And if we play Phase 1, yep, that's Phase 1. Let's hear Phase 4. So that's a quick way to get started. And now we can basically start here and then connect it inside of Unreal, and we're good to go. Okay, so that's it. that's the prototype of the AMAPP integration into Wwise that I'm currently working on. This work is supported by Patreon and it's currently in its beta stage. So if you want to use this yourself, then become a Patreon member and join our Discord so you can let me know that you want to be a closed beta member. And that way we can get you started with it as soon as possible. And to my Patreon supporters, thank you so much for your commitment. This implementation feature is the highest priority right now, so you can get started with it as soon as possible. But remember to check in on the Discord as often as possible and let me know if you're running into any problems or bugs, or you have any ideas that you feel like this needs to be inside of the AMAPP. I'll make sure to get this updated version of the AMAPP to you as soon as I possibly can. And again, thank you so much for your support. It really, really helps. Okay, I'll see you later.